So switching gears into safety, I saw recently that you just posted that your company, your drivers received the best overall safety score within your insurance captive. So that's a group of other, in fact, I think 36 carriers in the captive, all trying to be the safest, and you guys are the safest. What safety programs or training or technology do you guys use to reach that point?
Well, we have a good dedicated safety manager, Ann Ray Snyder. She manages the safety program very well, and we invest a lot in safety because if we put it up at the front end, it'll pay off in the back end. And we're blessed with a lot of very safe drivers, and accidents are going to happen, but we want to try and minimize that. We try and use technology. Cameras are a no-brainer. Yep. If you're driving today in a truck and you don't have at least a forward-facing camera, that is just a no-brainer to have that. It has saved us 10 times what we invested in the cameras, because everybody's recollection of the accident depends which vehicle you're in. So that has been tremendous. We also utilize inward-facing, and we get a lot of pushback from drivers. Hey, you're spying on us, this and that. That's not the point. Our point is to improve behavior. We're not going to sit there and ridicule everything you do, but if you're caught, it's only triggered by an incident, or if you have an excessive G-force. If you're not wearing your seatbelt, we're going to tell you about it, because we don't want to report to your family, hey, your loved one lost their life because they weren't wearing a seatbelt. That's the worst thing in our industry, I think, that you have to deal with if someone gets hurt. So we invest in technology. Everything we order new has all disc brakes. We try and do the stuff at the front end, but the captive has helped us with their safety program and coming out and giving us advice on how to become better. And in the captive, we have a little bit of, I would say, peer pressure to be the best.
Right. Is there certain requirements that if a company joins the captive, that they have to meet a certain safety tech threshold?
Yes. It's called continuous improvement.
Okay.
So we set a bar of like 80 points. And you have to meet that. If you fall below that, you have to come up with a plan how you're going to do better. And we also do there's probably 8 different categories. The bottom 10% are always going to be on the list, and there's always going to be the bottom, but hey, what can we do better?
Yeah.
And in a captive setting for us, it's very open. We go to these meetings and we know all the owners, and we talk about what can we do better? What's working for you in hiring and recruiting? What's working for you in safety? So we're very open with ideas on safety, because if your partners are successful, you will be too. And that's the huge benefit of the captive.
Oh yeah, networking in general is always a huge benefit. For those that might not know, insurance captives, you want to do a quick rundown of a captive versus...
Yeah, well, we're in a homogeneous captive, which is all trucking companies. So we get like-minded trucking carriers, similar size. We try and stay with non-haz and not not so many dump trucks or stuff, but we have some dump truck carriers, very successful, very good. And we all join together. We own our own insurance company. We put the risk with a reinsurer. We have the bottom couple $100,000 on each accident within the group, and then we pass that risk on to a reinsurer. And then we have a captive manager that manages the group and manages the bottom claims. They provide us with safety consulting and claims management. If there's an accident, they help us recuperate if someone hits us. So the captive, but if we do not spend what's in our excess funds and our primary fund, we put up some money right off the bat. I would say it's roughly half the premium. If you're blessed that you don't have any accidents, which is rare, and your partners, you'll get X amount back. And if your partners in the shared layer don't have so many accidents, you'll get some money back. And the money part is a nice touch, but our safety record from now compared to when we joined is night and day.
Really?
Oh my gosh, yes. We just do things differently.
Yeah.
Because we have the resources. And working with a captive, you want to do better, and that's their goal. So they'll come out there, you just tell them, here, these are the issues I have. In the traditional market, I always felt, do I want to tell them what issues I have? Because when they're asking, it's at renewal time. And how's my honesty of the issues I'm having going to affect my rate and my premium? And the captive is based on results.
Yeah.
So the better you do, your premium, you'll get some of your premium back. So hey, we call our safety advisor probably once every other month, say, hey, what do you have on this? What can we do better? Where should we govern our trucks? What's working? What kind of technology is should we be looking at? So that's been positive.
I'm just curious, if you were to onboard a carrier trying to join your captive, what's that onboarding process or timeline like? What are they looking for, or what's those thresholds they have to meet to join a captive?
Well, they have to. They'll come out and get a safety assessment.
Yeah.
They'll see where you're at. Where is the company at with safety? And they have to meet certain requirements. They can't be in any alerts, and they have to have a relatively safe company and definitely focus on safety. But the key to joining a captive is you have to buy in to participate, and you have to want to get better. And because you're very beholden to your partner's success. Your success is dependent on your partner's success. So we want to have people that want to do well with their safety. And it doesn't have to be perfect. We have people coming in with scores of 70, and in a year or two, they're up in the 90s because they have the resources now.
Nice.
And we're just looking for good partners that want to do well and want to better their safety score.
Is there any kind of relations that you guys have as well? Like when a claim pops up, does the captive help with the claim process at all? Or?
Oh yeah, no, 100%. We have a specific claim person that we deal with 100% on all the claims.
Yep.
And she walks us through, and if it's our fault, she'll help with all those steps. If it's somebody else's fault, she'll help us subrogate. And same as workers' comp. We have workers' comp through the captive. They help us, manage the claims, help us get them to the right doctor, make sure the bills are correct, and they manage the bills. In an accident, if there's health bills, they'll go through and make sure they're billed correctly. And you have a dedicated person that you talk to. I think one of the big things too, being in a captive, is you have control over your claims. Like, hey, do you want to pursue this? Do you want to fight it? Do you want to?
Yeah.
Do you want to settle? In the traditional market, they say, "Hey, this is not your money. We're going to settle, and you don't have a choice." Where here you have a little bit of say. They'll advise you, "Hey, this is the best financial move here, whether it's right or wrong, but it might be the best financial move to settle." But you have control, and you're in on every claim. They don't do anything without your approval.
And if someone, what fleet size do you tend to see? I know you're saying it's relatively similar fleet size. Maybe that's 50. If a fleet had 20, could they potentially be at a level to get into a captive?
There's our smaller captives. There's several. Our captive is probably 50 to 200 trucks, but they're smaller captives because there's a lot of, you got to put collateral up in the beginning.
Right, exactly.
And there's some requirements that it's a challenge for a smaller fleet to have a dedicated safety personnel and stuff like that. But 20 would definitely, I think, be able to find a good captain.